In Naruto, we have seen a lot of interesting and mysterious summonings. Summoning technique has been one of the most integral parts of the series ever since Naruto Part 1. We have seen a lot of legendary summonings via this technique, such as Gamabunta, Manda, and Monkey King Enma. However, today I don't want to talk about the strongest summonings, but about the most interesting and mysterious ones. But before starting, I want to ask you all to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more. I hope you all have a great day. Now let's start the video. I want to start this video with Baku, who is the former personal summon of Danzo Shimura. Baku has a very unique and interesting design. It is a gigantic elephantine chimera large enough to dwarf Sasuke Uchiha's Susanoo. It is predominantly dark orange in color with the exception of its trunk, legs, and markings around its eyes. Its feet are striped, reminiscent of those of a tiger, and it also has huge tusks, what looks like a beard, as well as long, sharp claws. It has bandages wrapped around its head and plated armor at the base of its trunk. First time Baku appeared in Naruto was in chapter 479, where he displayed his amazing fighting abilities. When it opens its mouth and inhales, it can create a powerful suction force that inhales everything in its path, unaffected by the debris it inhales, while at the same time exhaling through its trunk. Danzo uses this suction force in conjunction with his own wind release techniques to amplify their power. It was strong enough to immobilize Sasuke's Susanoo as well as augment Danzo's wind release to break through Sasuke's Susanoo's defenses. This suction also has a similar effect on fire release techniques, which can be used against it. However, I think the most interesting thing about Baku is what Toby said about it when it first appeared. According to him, Baku is said to be able to devour dreams and nightmares. I don't know if he meant it literally or not, but nevertheless, it adds mystery to Baku's character. Last time we saw him, we saw Sasuke launch a fireball into Baku's mouth, increasing the fire size and power and thus forcing it to retreat. He did not die, and I hope we'll see him again in Boruto and we'll learn what Toby meant when he said that. Next characters who I want to talk about are Doki, who are three beings summoned by Tayuya. Their eyes and ears are covered and their mouths are sewn shut, a reference to the three wise monkeys. By playing specific melodies on her demonic flute, Tayuya can control them, each melody causing them to perform different actions. When I first saw them in Naruto Part 1, I remember I was literally terrified of them. They looked very cool and I always wondered where they came from. The Doki are incredibly strong and fast, being able to slam their weapons through trees. In addition, Tayuya can use her flute song to force open their mouths to release a many-mouthed worm-like creature that consists almost entirely of spiritual energy. These spirit worms are attracted to physical energy and absorb it on contact, allowing them to weaken an opponent. Tayuya can send away the Doki if necessary by making a half-ram seal and saying "dispel" as seen during her battle with Shikamaru Nara after he gains control of them. I really hope that we will see them again in the future. They look very cool and unique, and I hope we'll hear more about them and their origin in Boruto. Next one I want to talk about is Nue, which is a yokai that was created by Root. It is the result of Project Gozu Tenno, designed to be the ultimate weapon harvested from Hashirama Senju's cells. While spearheaded by Tanuki Shigaraki, it was passed on to his daughter Sumire Shigaraki with the intention to wreak havoc in Konohagakure. As Danzo continued his amoral methods to protect Konohagakure, upon realizing the potential power within the first Hokage's very cells, he harvested some of them. Placing Tanuki Shigaraki, one of his top researchers and most loyal followers on the project, the goal was to create an ultimate weapon. After Danzo's demise, the blindly loyal Tanuki grew to resent Konohagakure for betraying Danzo. Desiring to avenge him, he relentlessly continued his research into finishing the project, all while training his daughter to properly wield the power of the beast in the event he died before its completion. Eventually, he met his own demise after passing on the Nue into Sumire. In the following years, as Sumire established a new identity, she began nurturing the creature's development, forming a strong bond with its summoner. The thing that makes Nue very interesting and mysterious is its connection to the Otsutsuki clan. At the end of Boruto episode 15, after Sasuke learned about Nue and Gozu Tenno, he remarked that it came close to replicating Kaguya Otsutsuki's secret techniques. Another thing that makes Nue connected to the Otsutsuki clan is its own dimension, which is an alternate space where Nue resides, which Tanuki Shigaraki and Sumire Keke referred to as the underworld. The only way to access this dimension, besides controlling Nue, is by using Jogan, Rinnegan, which is regarded as the ultimate Otsutsuki dojutsu. I am happy to see Niue appearing from time to time in the series. I really hope that someday we will hear more about it in the series, and that its connection to the Otsutsuki clan will finally be resolved. Next, I want to talk about Pain's summonings. Animal Path grants a Rinnegan user the ability of summoning various animals and creatures to aid it in battle. These creatures appear to be immortal as they were killed and later summoned again. Worthy of note, summoning creatures through the Animal Path requires no blood sacrifice or hand seals. The Animal Path can also summon people using hand signs, such as in the case of Nagato's paths and Konan. Tactic-wise, the Animal Path's primary role in battle appears to consist of overwhelming multiple opponents with a barrage of summons. In the case of Nagato, having originally channeled the Animal Path through the corpse of a Fuma clan shinobi and then the corpse of Ajisai in life, the creatures summoned to appear have undergone the same modifications as his 6 paths of pain, having chakra receivers embedded in their bodies. Nagato also tends to send the Animal Path first into battle to throw enemies off about the number of enemies they are really facing. As they also display the Rinnegan, the creatures serve as extensions of Nagato. During the 4th Shinobi World War, Nagato used his summons for transport before being rejuvenated to move on his own power. Pain's summoning technique is a little confusing. I used to think the user had to insert black receivers to the creature he wants to summon, but Nagato was able to summon Konan, who had none, so I guess the black receivers were just used to modify the creatures for shared vision. I also used to think that the Animal Path just summons specific creatures, but Nagato summoning Konan breaks this idea. Plus, Sasuke, Madara, and Obito never summoned the creatures Nagato summoned, so I guess Nagato just went around the world capturing unique creatures for his arsenal. What we need to keep in mind is that there is a slight difference between Rinnegan summoning and endless summoning jutsu. In the Naruto databook, Nagato along with Obito are labeled as users of Rinnegan summoners, but only Nagato is labeled as the user of endless summoning technique, which makes me think that Nagato was the only one who could use them in a fight, since he looked for and captured those creatures. I really wonder if we'll ever see these creatures. I would love to learn more about them and about the place where they come from. I have a theory that these creatures are actually from Hell. We know that afterlife exists in Naruto, which was shown when Obito met Rin. Just like heaven, hell exists too. Nagato has one technique that is directly tied to it, and that is the Naraka Path. It enables its user to summon the King of Hell. In the 4th Naruto databook, it is written that the King of Hell is a deity that rules over life and death. So given the fact that Nagato has some ties with the underworld, I wouldn't be surprised if his summonings were from that place too. The last one on our list is the White Snake Sage, who is the leader of the snakes of Ryuchi Cave. This snake made its debut in Naruto chapter 579 when Orochimaru discovered the location of the Ryuchi Cave through his study of Jugo's unique powers, and began studying there to master Senjutsu under the White Snake Sage. Unable to attain Sage mode, he instead developed an alternate method of harnessing his Senjutsu chakra through cursed seals. Sometime after injecting himself with Orochimaru's remains, Kabuto Yakushi discovered the Ryuchi Cave and received the White Snake Sage's teachings. Under her guidance, Kabuto was able to learn Senjutsu and ultimately mastered the use of Sage mode. Sage creatures in Naruto received surprisingly low attention in the series. Fukasaku and Shima are the only ones who got proper screen time. While the Great Snake didn't even make a proper debut in the manga, it only appeared one time, and that was it. However, fortunately, he reappeared in Boruto, which showed us exactly what kind of creature it is and what kind of personality it has. I wonder how long the White Snake Sage has been the leader of the Ryuchi Caves, how he became a leader in the first place, and what kind of relationship does he have with Gamamaru, who is the oldest and most respected toad of all the inhabitants of Mount Myoboku. When you think about it, Boruto looks more and more like Hagoromo Otsutsuki. He owns much more divine chakra than any other normal ninja, and it seems in the future he wants to use his power to achieve peace, just like Hagoromo Otsutsuki. And since we know that Hagoromo had some kind of connection with Gamamaru, I wouldn't be surprised if Boruto had it with the White Snake Sage. I assume that Boruto will go to the Ryuchi Cave and train with him in ancient sage techniques, since we know that in the future, the Otsutsuki threat is real, and sage techniques are one of the most effective ways to counter them. Plus, in the Boruto anime, they already had an interaction with each other, so who knows, it could be a hint about their future training and cooperation. Anyway, I guess this is all for today. I really enjoyed talking about this topic, and if you like it, I will do a second part of this video. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments, like this video, and subscribe to this channel for more. Astrojack out. Bye.